Why is Helaena pregnant? The Maelor twist explained. Warning: this video contains major spoilers for House of the Dragon Season 3 and George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. One of the biggest surprises in House of the Dragon Season 3 wasn't a dragon battle. It wasn't a shocking death. It wasn't even a betrayal. Instead, it was a single moment involving Queen Helaena Targaryen. When Alicent notices something unusual about her daughter, fans immediately begin asking one question: is Helaena pregnant? By the end of the episode, the answer becomes clear. Yes, she is. But this isn't just another royal pregnancy. It could completely change the future of the Dance of the Dragons and finally bring back one of the most important missing characters from George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. That character is Prince Maelor Targaryen. So why is Helaena pregnant? Who is the baby's father? Why is this child so important? And how does this connect to one of George R.R. Martin's biggest criticisms of the TV adaptation? Let's explain everything. To understand why this pregnancy matters, we first need to go back to Season 2. After the horrifying Blood and Cheese assassination, Helena's young son, Jaehaerys, was brutally murdered. It became one of the darkest moments in the series. In the original book, however, Helaena had 3 children with King Aegon II, Jaehaerys, Jaehaera, and a younger son named Maelor. But when HBO adapted Blood and Cheese, Maelor simply didn't exist. Book readers immediately noticed the change. George R.R. Martin himself later expressed concern that removing Maelor would create a major butterfly effect that would impact future storylines. For nearly 2 years, fans assumed Maelor had been completely removed from the show. Then Season 3 changed everything. During Episode 4, Alicent notices Helena's growing belly. Soon afterward, the show effectively confirms that Helaena is expecting another child. Almost instantly, book readers recognized what this probably means. HBO appears to be bringing Maelor back after all. Instead of existing before Blood and Cheese like he does in the books, Maelor may now be born later in the story. Naturally, this raises another huge question. Who is the baby's father? The most likely answer is King Aegon II. In Fire and Blood, Aegon and Helaena are husband and wife, as well as brother and sister, following the Targaryen tradition. The show's timeline suggests Helaena likely conceived before Aegon suffered his devastating injuries at the Battle of Rook's Rest. Those injuries later left him severely burned and likely unable to father another child. That timing makes Aegon the strongest candidate. However, the show has deliberately avoided confirming the father's identity. Because of that, fan theories have exploded online. Some viewers wonder if another member of House Targaryen could be the father. Others believe HBO intentionally left the mystery unresolved to build suspense for future episodes. At this point, there is no official confirmation beyond the pregnancy itself. Until the series answers the question directly, everything beyond Aegon remains speculation. So why does this pregnancy matter so much? Because if Helaena gives birth to a son, that child becomes another legitimate Targaryen prince. His existence immediately creates a new political problem. Every royal child represents another possible claimant to the Iron Throne. For Queen Rhaenyra, any surviving son of Aegon strengthens the Green Claim. Even an infant could become a symbol around which her enemies unite. That makes Helena's unborn child incredibly dangerous from a political perspective. If that child is Maelor, book readers already know how tragic his future becomes. Without revealing every detail, Maelor's fate is one of the most heartbreaking events in Fire and Blood. His story doesn't just affect his own life. It completely changes Helena's emotional journey. Many readers believe Maelor's tragedy is the event that ultimately breaks Helaena beyond recovery. That emotional collapse has enormous consequences for King's Landing and the entire Dance of the Dragons. This is exactly why George R.R. Martin believed removing Maelor weakened the original adaptation. Without him, several later storylines lose their emotional foundation. Season 3 now appears to be correcting that problem. Rather than pretending Maelor never existed, HBO seems to have delayed his introduction. This allows the writers to preserve many of the emotional moments from Fire and Blood while adjusting the timeline for television. Showrunner Ryan Condal has explained that Helena's pregnancy was designed to address the missing Maelor storyline and reduce the long-term effects of cutting him from earlier seasons. The pregnancy also changes Alicent's role. When Alicent realizes her daughter is expecting another child, her reaction isn't one of celebration, it's fear. She understands exactly what this baby represents. If Rhaenyra secures the throne, any surviving male heir from Aegon's line could become a future rival. That places both Helaena and her unborn child in terrible danger. Some scenes even suggest Alicent considers desperate measures to protect her daughter from what lies ahead. Another fascinating detail is Helaena herself. Unlike many members of House Targaryen, Helaena possesses mysterious prophetic visions. Throughout the series, she has predicted major events before they happened. She foresaw tragedy. She warned of death. She saw pieces of the future that others ignored. Knowing this, many fans wonder whether Helaena already understands the fate awaiting her unborn child. If she truly sees fragments of the future, then her determination to continue the pregnancy becomes even more heartbreaking. She may already know the pain that lies ahead but chooses to carry the child anyway. Not everyone is convinced the timeline works perfectly. Some viewers argue there wasn't enough time between earlier events for Helaena to be visibly pregnant. Others believe HBO quietly compressed or expanded the timeline to make Maelor's return possible. Regardless of those debates, the show has clearly chosen to prioritize restoring this major storyline over following the exact chronology of the books. Whether that decision satisfies every fan remains to be seen. The bigger picture is what really matters. For years, fans believed HBO had permanently removed Prince Maelor. Now it appears the writers had a different plan all along. Instead of introducing him before Blood and Cheese, they may have simply delayed his birth. If that's true, it not only answers one of the biggest questions from the books, but also restores an essential emotional arc that George R.R. Martin believed was missing from the adaptation. So why is Helaena pregnant? Because the series appears to be bringing Maelor Targaryen back into the story. The pregnancy isn't just about another royal baby. It's about restoring one of the most important storylines from Fire and Blood. It raises the political stakes. It deepens Helena's tragic journey. It gives Alicent another reason to fear the future. And it may finally resolve one of the biggest controversies surrounding House of the Dragon. Whether this delayed version of Maelor can match the emotional impact of the books is something fans will continue debating until the series comes to its conclusion. What do you think? Do you like HBO's decision to introduce Maelor later? Or should the show have followed Fire and Blood from the very beginning? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and Fantasy Universe explainers. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.